Welcome to Tired Mommy Revival. Hey mama, are you running on coffee fumes? Feeling like brain fog, fatigue, and anxiety are running the show? Do you wake up dreading the day ahead, already overwhelmed by the endless to-do list and unsure how you'll make it through? Do you long for the energy to enjoy motherhood and care for yourself, but feel stuck and unsure where to start? Let me remind you of something life-changing. You were created for more energy, more clarity, more joy. Hi, I'm Jerusha, certified holistic wellness coach, wife and mom to 2 wild boys and 1 baby girl in heaven. I know the exhaustion you're feeling because I've been there, barely making it through the day, relying on coffee and chocolate to survive, and wondering why nothing I tried ever made me feel better. Then, God stepped in and revealed a powerful truth. A woman's body is beautifully and uniquely designed to thrive. When we align with how God created us, we can boost our energy, bust through fatigue, and step into the vibrant, joy-filled life He has for us. Mama, I'm living proof that it's possible. These days, I wake up refreshed, nourish my body with intention, and navigate the chaos of motherhood with patience and peace. Most days. And I want to help you do the same. If you're ready to swap exhaustion for energy, brain fog for clarity, and guilt for grace, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into practical strategies, faith-filled truths, and empowering tools to renew your health, body, soul, and spirit. Are you ready for this? Let's do it, mama. If you've been following our How to Help Your Kids Love Veggies series, you're probably on board with the idea of building healthier breakfasts. But let's be honest, when it comes to lunch, it can feel like a totally different ballgame. School is in session, mornings are rushed, and packing a lunch often comes as a last-minute thought, either late at night when you just want to collapse, or in the morning when you're trying to rush out the door. And if you're anything like me, you know that lunch nutrition could definitely use a boost. But it still has to be easy or it is not going to happen. Today, we're talking about simple swaps that make a big difference in your kids' nutrition without being overwhelming. These are ideas you can prep ahead, toss in quickly, and actually feel good about. Now, let me preface this by saying, I am wonderful at making healthy breakfasts. I'm intentional about getting veggies on the dinner table. But lunch in our house often feels like a free-for-all. Even as a holistic wellness coach, I'll admit, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and PB&Js still find their way into our lunches. And you know what? That's okay. These foods aren't shiny examples of nutrition, but they're not necessarily villains either. They're simply a reflection of a mom giving herself grace. My kids get veggies every day, usually at breakfast and dinner. So if they don't get them at lunch, I don't beat myself up about it. So when a friend asked me, what should I feed my kids for lunch? My first thought was, I am not the best person to ask because I'm lazy about lunch. But the truth is, I have found some tricks that sneak in extra nutrition without overhauling our whole lunch menu and without trying to curate Pinterest-worthy bento boxes. Can we just pause a second on the bento boxes? Has anyone else noticed how completely impractical those things are for real food? The compartments are cute, but they're made for food cut into perfect little shapes that no mom has time for at 7 a.m. I need space for actual sandwiches. Lunch should be practical, not cute. Mama, if you've been trying to get your lunch boxes to look Pinterest worthy because you think that they make them healthier, let me tell you, let it go. Lunch can be healthy and practical and easy too. So let's talk strategy. In order for our kids to be fueled midday, they need protein and healthy fats, plus foods with vitamins and antioxidants. If the lunchbox is full of high carb, low nutrient foods, it may keep their tummies quiet for the moment, but they'll be crashing by the second half of the school day, exactly when they need the most focus and energy. So here are some easy protein swaps and ideas. Number one is a turkey sandwich. Yes, it works, but you can mix it up too. Try a turkey wrap or roll turkey slices with some string cheese and add pita bread in there for a DIY Lunchable. It's healthier than the store version and cheaper too. Pro tip, look for nitrate free lunch meats if you can. I know this isn't always possible or feasible, but if they're available to you, it can really help make it more nutritious while cutting out some of those really unnecessary additives. Sam's Club brand is a good one if you have a Sam's Club around you because those are nitrate free and still affordable. Number two is don't forget tuna or egg salad sandwiches. They're filling and protein rich. They usually get lost in the mix of turkey and PB&J, but they're still really great options to get in some protein. Also, leftover chicken is your friend. Whether you have something left over from dinner or a rotisserie chicken, use it in wraps. Think barbecue chicken, a BLT with some chicken added in, or even a Caesar wrap. And lastly, yes, chicken nuggets can be a great lunchtime menu too. But here's the thing, if you take frozen chicken nuggets and put them in a lunchbox, they're going to be soggy, right? And they're gross. But here's the trick, make them yourself. They're so much easier than you think. All you have to do is cut up chicken breasts into bite-sized pieces, toss with some spices, and pan sear them until they're cooked. Then pop them in the fridge or the freezer, and you've got protein ready to go. Yes, they're good warm, but they're good cold too. And you take away the risk of eating soggy chicken for lunch, which nobody wants. We ate these one time when we went camping and they were delicious. You can also make another type of DIY chicken nugget with some ground chicken, some shredded veggies, and spices. Again, pan sear those or pop them into the oven and let those cook, and you have an incredible protein rich and veggie loaded option for breakfast that your kids will love. That is honestly so much less stress than trying to fit chicken nuggets in a lunchbox when they just never turn out good. Okay, next up is sides. Fruit is a staple for us. I love to make that a time of day to just get the fruit into my kids' diet, but veggies make it into lunch boxes too, especially when I've prepped them ahead of time. The key is to always have some on hand and ready. Now, you probably have your go-tos at home. Maybe you always keep bananas or grapes in the fridge, but make it a point to expand a little bit and include other fruits and veggies that are a regular staple in your fridge as well. When you're prepping for lunch, some things like apples can be cut the night before so that they don't brown too much. But other things like melons or pineapple, you're going to want to cut those up at the beginning of the week so that they're ready to grab and go when you're throwing together that lunch. Also, veggies like grape tomatoes, cucumber slices, and carrot sticks are really easy to store and pack last minute. And here's the real secret, dips. Kids are way more motivated when they have something to dip with. Think guacamole, hummus, tzatziki, salsa, or ranch all work. I found little sauce containers at Ross and TJ Maxx that fit perfectly in a lunchbox without spilling, and they're a total game changer. All right, in our lunchbox, we've got protein, fruit, and veggies. Now let's talk about some fun add-ins that add nutrition and texture to an overall lunch menu. First up is Greek yogurt. I buy a big tub of plain Greek yogurt and then I put it in little cups and flavor it myself with honey and cinnamon. To make it even better, you can add fresh berries to the top. Strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, or blueberries all work really great, and they're packed with antioxidants and fiber that will fuel your kids. Now, yogurt doesn't have to be Greek yogurt. I love that my kids get some extra protein in Greek yogurt, but it can be regular yogurt as well. Buying plain flavored yogurt will really help cut out the sugar and additives that find their way into yogurts that don't need to be there. And then you can add the healthy stuff like honey and cinnamon in yourself, or use maple syrup if you don't like honey. Another great option, especially if you are dairy free, is chia pudding. All you have to do is mix some chia seeds with a milk alternative. I loved using canned coconut milk for creaminess, and you get those healthy fats in there too. And then add some fruit and honey, and you've got a pudding that blows those store-bought pudding cups out of the water with nutrition. Chia seeds are incredible for fiber, some protein, nutrients like magnesium and potassium, plus you get healthy omega 3s in there. There's no way that regular pudding can compete with that at all. Our favorite is what I call a tropical chia pudding with coconut milk, mandarin oranges, and pineapple. I blend those up together, add in the chia seeds, put it in the fridge overnight, and it's ready to go. It's so easy to make, and once you have it in there, it's ready all week so that you'll have it ready for lunches whenever you need something quick to throw in there that's packed with nutrition. Also, quick note, if you're making chia pudding and you are buying canned fruit, make sure you're checking the labels. Labels are so sneaky nowadays. You really have to watch out for those no sugar added or even sugar-free versions because instead of sugar, they'll add in sucralose. And that stuff is terrible for your gut health. In this case, the regular sugar would actually be better. So if the sugar-free version includes sucralose, just go with the light syrup versions instead. Trust me, it's a better swap overall. Next, I want to tell you about a game changer. We're going back to sandwiches here a little bit, but we're going to talk about the classic PB&J. It just can't be denied. Kids love PB&J, even when their mom is a holistic wellness coach. There's no escaping that. And even though PB&J is typically considered fairly healthy, let me tell you a secret. Jam and jelly are usually 90% sugar. I know because I used to make it myself and we kept it stocked all year long. Like we never bought jam from the store because I made it myself. And let me tell you, it is 90% sugar and like 10% fruit, maybe like 5 to 10% fruit. Also, many peanut butters come loaded with sugar and refined oils as well. And the problem with both of those is that they increase inflammation in the body and they spike our kids' blood sugar, which affects their energy levels too. So instead of tossing out the beloved PB&J, which no kid would agree to, instead you can be the lunchtime hero and make it healthier. I'm going to tell you how right now. Use natural peanut butter, okay? Look for peanut butter without added sugars and oils. Peanut butter is so simple. I don't know why they have to add anything to it. All you have to do is blend up peanuts and you have something beautiful. Don't mess with what's already good. Next, the jam. How do we get around the sugar? No, you don't need to buy sugar-free jam at the store. All you have to do is make chia jam. It is so simple, and honestly, I cannot believe it took me so many years to actually try this because we've been eating chia pudding for forever, and chia jam is something we just tried recently, and honestly, I will never go back. It's simple. You cook down some fruit, mash it or blend it. You're going to add some honey and some chia seeds and then pop it in the fridge and let it thicken. My youngest told me that it tastes like regular jam. How can I argue with that? Why would I go back to 90% sugar jam when I can do chia jam, which is fruit that has antioxidants and fiber plus chia seeds that's packed with nutrition? No, thank you. We will never look back. If you want some recipes, I promise I'm going to give those to you, so stick with me. All right, here's another lunchtime lifesaver, lunch muffins. Now, if you got episode 42, you know how much I love healthy muffins for breakfast, including our spinach chocolate chip muffins. But my favorite food blogger, Tasha Butler from The Natural Nurturer, has some recipes with lentils for proteins that work great for lunch. So the trick is that you're making a muffin, but it has lentils added in there, which they're blended up. You don't even taste them. You don't even know they're in there, but you're getting protein in a muffin, which I just feel like is so cool. and that makes it a lunch muffin instead of a breakfast muffin. Honestly, it doesn't matter what time of day you eat these. They're amazing for you, but I like to make these for lunch. They are a little more effort up front, but I think it's worth it for the nutrition. And they freeze beautifully, which means on busy days when we're out of bread or turkey or whatever, and I'm realizing this the night before school, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we have nothing to pack for lunch. I remember, oh yeah, there's muffins in the freezer. So I'll just toss one frozen into the lunchbox at night, put it in the fridge, and by lunchtime, it's thawed. Plus, my kids get to eat muffins for lunch. Total mom win. Okay, so we have talked about how to get protein into our kids' lunch boxes, healthy muffins, all kinds of wonderful sides. We're packing nutrition into that lunchbox, but we would be remiss if we didn't address the obvious fact that our kids are going to ask for some of their old lunchbox staples, including things like chips. And I get it because my kids love crunchy snacks too. And even though we don't put them in our lunch boxes regularly, it doesn't stop them from asking for chips all the time. Now, I save chips for special occasions. I get them every once in a while. If it's up to me, there'll be things like veggie chips or a healthier version. Sometimes I'll add in pretzels or trail mix or maybe some raisins just to like give them some variety in their lunchbox. But for the most part, I really try to keep those things out of the lunchbox. They can have them for snacks here and there if they want to, but I try to keep that mostly as a standard no. And here's why. If I start making chips and empty, high calorie, low nutrient snacks, regular things in the lunchbox, then it's going to make it even harder. They're going to ask for them all the time. They're going to throw fits when they don't get them. They're not going to want the other things that I put in their lunchbox because they want the good stuff, the things that they think are the good stuff, not what I think is the good stuff. And it just becomes this big battle. So for us, it's mostly a no on chips. Like I said, I'll save it for a special occasion, but they know that it's a special occasion and not to expect it all the time. I'll leave it up to you. You get to choose your own battles, mama. There are definitely other options you can add. If you are not nut free, then you can definitely add trail mix, things like that for those extra crunchy items. Or maybe switch it up to pretzels or something instead of chips for a little bit to try to wean them off. Or maybe just say, you know what, we're going to buy veggie chips. And if you want chips, you can have those. But try to keep the majority of your kids' lunch boxes really packed with nutrition simply because it's going to make their day so much better when they're fueled for success. And the more they're fueled with healthy foods, the less cravings they'll have for the junk too. So the more consistent you are, the more this will add up over time. All right, mamas, I know that switching up your lunch routine can feel exciting, but also overwhelming sometimes. And so I want to share this simple hack that really helped me last year. What I did was I just made a lunch options list, like a little lunch menu, and I stuck it on the fridge. So we've got our main sides, maybe sandwiches, sandwich alternatives, and what sides are available depending on what's in the fridge, and maybe a treat if that's something that's included. And I put it on the fridge. So when the kids or I are wondering what's for lunch tomorrow, we can look at the list and remind ourselves of all those creative ideas we had in the moment on those mornings when you are running on coffee in survival mode, or the night before when your creative juices are all drained out. It helps to see the options laid out. And the kids can even help pick, which makes the process even smoother and ultimately just cuts down on decision fatigue, mama, which is a lifesaver. Give your brain a break. Put your list on the fridge and it will help you all school year long. If you're ready to build healthier lunch boxes for your kids this school year, you can find all the inspiration you need, including recipes for a lot of what we covered in today's episode, in my Pinterest board, Lunchbox Meals for Kids. You can find the link in the show notes below, so click on that link, head over to my Pinterest board, and get all the details you need to make lunchtime a success this year. I want to leave you with this encouragement. Mama, I hope this shows you that nutritious lunches don't have to be overwhelming or by any means Pinterest worthy. With a few simple swaps, some prep ahead, and a little creativity, you can fuel your kids' day in a way that's doable for you and nourishing for them. And remember, this is a journey and it doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. You've got this, Mama. Mama, I hope this episode blessed you and reminded you that you were beautifully and uniquely made to thrive. If today's conversation spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to take a moment to leave a rating and review. Not only does it encourage me, but it helps more tired mamas discover the hope, healing, and energy they've been searching for. You're not in this alone. Make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Together, we'll reclaim your energy, renew your health, and revive your spirit, one step at a time. Until next time, remember, you are beautifully designed by God to live with energy, clarity, and joy. You're not just surviving, Mama. You're stepping into the vibrant life you were created for. I'm cheering you on.